Trump in Charlotte, North Carolina, a packed house. Mark Meredith is on the ground there. He said people started showing up 8 a.m., thousands and thousands of people inside the Bojangles Arena. We are told that it is packed. They have a number of dignitaries, including the chairman of the Republican Party and some of the North Carolina delegation. Obviously changing his attack directly on Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the presumptive Democratic nominee and we're told has enough delegates to take that title in the first day of the vote in the Democratic Convention in Chicago. Let's bring in our panel to do some analysis. Fox News senior political analyst Juan Williams, Jason Riley, Wall Street Journal columnist, a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and Julia Manchester, national politics reporter for The Hill. Jason, he's sharpened his attacks. Obviously, he's changed the nominee that he's facing here, but clearly going after the liberal side of Kamala Harris and really what she ran on as a candidate for president back in 2019.
Right, and I think he's smart to do that, Bret. That is what Democratic primary voters rejected 4 years ago. They thought that Kamala Harris was too liberal, and she is a coastal elite. She epitomizes that California liberal that conservatives like to parody and make fun of, and I think he is right to harp on those issues. This is a woman who has called for abolishing ICE, has called for free health care for illegal immigrants, and he is going to hammer away at those points, and that's what you see him doing. I think Republicans and Trump was caught a little bit aback by how quickly Democrats have corralled around her and supported her, and how positive the press coverage has been. You heard him talking about that in the speech, but they shouldn't be surprised by that. I think you're looking at a race now that's probably pre-debate stage where we were back then, and so we're back at square one, and Trump is going to have to work at this.
And it's a different opponent, Juan. And if you don't think that these efforts to go after liberal policies of the past are catching on, in swing state Senate races, it's already the subject of ads. Dave McCormick, Republican running against Bob Casey, the incumbent Democrat in Pennsylvania, has an ad out. Here's a piece of it about Kamala Harris.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
Banning fracking, not too popular in Pennsylvania. Juan, as you look at the Real Clear Politics average overall right now, the average of recent polls, the former president has 47.6 to 45.9%. If you look at a five-way race with the other candidates, it's 43.4 to 40.6. But we've seen polls on both sides. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's right. There was a lot of excitement among Democrats today when a poll came out that actually had Harris in the lead. But I think, as you can tell from the speech tonight, if he ever gets her name right or pronounces her name right, that'll be news. But I think it's clear he's saying she's a San Francisco leftist. He said Biden was a fake liberal. This is the real liberal. And he said that, he pushed Biden out of the race. I didn't think that was very gracious, the way he talked about Biden. But he basically said, if Kamala's down by 10, maybe they'll get somebody else. He is back to himself. I remember at the Milwaukee convention, there was a lot of talk about maybe we're going to see a different Donald Trump. Well, tonight, he is back to himself, and he is really going. He went after, as I said, Joe Biden at a moment when Biden is going to give his speech exiting. I guess that's why you're there at the White House.
Yes,
Bret.
sir.
But he's also going after her in a very, very strong way.
Yeah, and this rally in Charlotte, Julia, is, we're told the security is very tight. Obviously, we're only days from this assassination attempt. It's hard to believe all of this has happened in this short of a time. We should point out Brian Yennis had this piece. We had a technical problem. We're going to post it on our website and on my Instagram page so people can see that new body video camera evidence that's popping up in that investigation. I want to play this soundbite ahead of this speech here at the White House tonight.
Why did you drop out of the election? Was it a difficult decision to make?
Tonight, the president will discuss his historic decision to put the country above all else, and about the inflection point we face as a country in this moment.
If everyone acknowledges that he is incapable of running a campaign, then he's clearly incapable of running the country.
His fourth Oval Office address, 8 p.m. tonight, will start at 7:55. But here's an excerpt we got from this address. The great thing about America is here. Kings and dictators do not rule. The people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. Julia, there's a challenge for this president to explain exactly why he stepped down and why he should be here for the next 5+ months.
Yeah, certainly not not a subtle dig at Trump there without naming him. But look, this is an opportunity for Biden really to echo what a lot of Democrats have been saying over the past few days, to talk about how this decision was a unifying decision. It was meant to bring the country together. It was a patriotic thing to do. And he's going to sort of, I think, use this address really to position Harris at the forefront, to really publicly give his blessing to the vice president, and sort of paint her as someone who is ready to take on the helm. Remember, Kamala Harris will run on President Biden's legacy, on his platform, and we're going to see Donald Trump, even though he sort of said that Biden was the fake liberal here, and Kamala Harris is the real liberal. I think you're going to see Joe Biden sort of say that him and Kamala Harris are united, that she is looking to essentially finish the job.
I only have 30 seconds here, and I think that there is this effort that has to be made about what he says tonight to explain, right? To explain why he's stepping down.
Well, I think it's a matter of, it's a speech for the historians as much as it is for you and me, Bret. I mean, he is going to not only explain why he's stepping down, but say that he was a success in his first term and that he is acting. I mean, there's a certain wistfulness, I feel about this moment, but he has to justify the idea that he now believes Harris can win.
Jason?
I agree. I mean, Biden will want to talk about his accomplishments, but this is, and maybe he has some stuff he still wants to do with 6 months left. This is someone with 30-something% approval rating, though. He doesn't have a lot of political capital, and I think that's going to frustrate his efforts to get anything done in these remaining months.
All right, panel, thanks so much. Tomorrow on Special Report, we'll take a look at how Vice President Harris's name at the top of the ticket could affect down-ballot races, especially in swing states. Please join Martha McCallum and me, 8 p.m. Eastern, for special coverage of President Biden's Oval Office address to the nation. Laura Ingram's up next. She's going to go back to that Trump rally. Thanks for inviting us to your home tonight from the White House. Fair, balanced, and still unafraid. Here's Laura.
All right, well, guys, a lot to take in there. But, Biden's got a chance to address the nation tonight. And it's his exit speech. And he's got to convince everyone that it was his decision to exit the race. We're going to see if he can adequately convince us of that. Of course, I think we all know the truth, that Biden was pressured at the highest level to exit the race. He'd been saying, I want to stay in, I'm going to stay in, I'm not exiting the race. I'm absolutely not exiting the race. Well, the only reason I would exit the race is if I got sick. Well, I got sick. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to exit the race. Tonight, he's going to make his big speech and try to convince everyone that there isn't some kind of whatever. I, for one, am the ultimate skeptic when it comes to Biden and the reason he's exiting the race. Democrats absolutely at their worst point, guys, and Kamala is going to run on Biden's ticket. Trump needs to hit her there. That Kamala has already essentially been president for 4 years, as Biden was just a puppet. Anyway, guys. All right, that's all for this video, guys. Laura Ingraham show next. So I'll make a video on that very quickly. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these videos, guys. like the video. It helps out the channel. Appreciate everyone for all the likes. And I guess I'll see y'all here in a little bit. All right, take it easy.